Get ready, Power Gamers. This is episode 7 of The Legends of Lyria. I'm DJ the DM.
I'm Emily. I play Wyndham.
I'm Lily. I play Lothario.
I'm Matt. I play Bojangles.
And I'm Taz, and I play Double T Tanya.
Oh yeah, and we're here bringing you the next installment of The Legends of Lyria. The last thing that happened was our characters, after sailing for about a month on the open ocean with not very much in the way of resources to keep themselves alive, miraculously, through their own power gaming, use of very clever spells, and just a bit of luck, they managed to drift until they found refuge on a floating congregation of ships connected through wooden planks and boards. Upon finding this, well, they, of course, very luckily, they were brought on and welcomed. You met with a practitioner, Montgomery, who seems to be very well versed in the alchemical healing arts. He agreed to make you a healing potion to treat Wyndham's festering stump, as the seaside amputation seems to have led to some gangrene. Likewise, you had yourself a nice dinner. The first dinner that wasn't good berries and conjured water in about a month and a week, give or take. Now, while you were having dinner, you noticed that through picking up what people were saying and having a conversation with the Earl of Arkham, there seems to be people going missing on this refugee colony floating in the middle of the ocean. It seems that they were all refugees fleeing from one thing or another in their homelands, and it became quite clear that your little island was not the only one that seems to have been besieged by monsters. Now, those faraway monsters are but a distant concern, as you do know there is something picking off people from this refugee colony. Now, it's not just anyone, it's captains, male captains. And because of that, well, there's really no one else who can captain the ship here. Well, there's maybe a few, maybe 2 or 3 left, but even they are pretty scared for their lives. And no one knows when the next one's going to be taken. That brings us to where we are now. It's just getting to the point of nighttime. You guys have had your first real meal in a long time and learned about this strange threat that seems to be looming over the refugee colony. What do you do?
Well, since this is our first chance to really catch our breath, especially after a month at sea, I say we take a long rest.
Agreed.
Agreed.
My belly is full and I need a nap.
Right?
Smart call. Excellent call. All right. So, with bellies full of food, real food, and water, you find your way to one of the places you can rest. Now, your ship doesn't have a lower deck, but because everyone here is really relying on each other, you seem to be welcome aboard any ship. You find one that seems to have a spare couple of hammocks, and you're welcome to sleep here. With that, time passes, and amazingly you do find yourself drifting off to sleep. Some of you have dreams. I'm guessing most of you have nightmares. And you managed to get a full 8 hours of rest. Impressive.
Oh, good.
Yes, very lucky for you. However, it's about 3, 4 in the morning? Maybe a little later, maybe like 4 or 5. When something wakes all of you up, and likewise the other people in your cabin. However, they pretend to be asleep. It's a smell, and it reeks like rotting seaweed, like fish that have been beached upon the shore and cooked by the sun. It's disgusting.
Gross.
What do you do?
Are we all awake?
Oh yeah, it woke all of you up. In fact, it's so strong it seems to have woken everybody in the cabin. Not just you guys, but several of the refugees. They, again, are pretending to be asleep. It's up to you guys what you do next.
Let's go. Didn't
Yeah.
the Duke of something or another, Mr. Fancy Pants, say something about rotten fish?
the Earl of Arkham, and yes, he did say there's always this bad smell before someone is kidnapped.
Let's go save a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My vote.
I loudly say, let's save a life and not be scared.
And I'm just over here in your mind being like, dude, we can speak mind to mind.
Nah, say it out loud, bitches. Let's go.
Yeah, these people are pretending to be asleep, and they know something's going to happen. How
I'm
dare
not sitting around waiting for somebody to kill me. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, you say it aloud, loud and proud. After your dealings with the Rat King, after your dealings with your island being besieged, you feel very confident that you are not going to sit idly by and wait for something to attack you again. The rest of the refugees don't seem to share your courage, and so you find yourself going above decks alone. Now, you go above decks, and it's at that point that you notice quite a few people up top. Now, what you can see first and foremost is you see a couple individuals who seem to be scattered throughout the decks. You see what appears to be a captain. Very curious, this man here. You see a couple people who appear to be just ship workers, but they seem armed. One has a sword, another one has a crossbow, and this individual over here seems to have a long sword. Now, the only person who doesn't seem to be armed is this small child over here. She seems to have passed out, and that's the second thing you guys notice. When you come above the deck, that smell that was very strong beneath the deck, strong enough to wake you up, it is almost maddeningly strong up here. It is everything you have in your power not to start puking. But listen, you've been through much worse than this. It takes you a moment to adjust, and sure enough, you do for the most part. It is a constant in terms of the smell, but yeah. What do? Let's start with Wyndham.
I'm going to take a look around and see if I can see any washed up piles of seaweed or anything that could be visibly causing the smell.
Excellent. Well, you look around and you don't see any piles of seaweed, but since you're paying attention to everything that's going on, you do notice that the captain seems to be having some sort of dialogue with the individual over here who is standing directly in front of the collapsed body of this little girl. You're not exactly able to hear it from where you are, but you can tell there's some sort of discrepancy. Maybe they're just panicking. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, what is that? Wow. Okay, I love the baby shark emote. Thank you, guys.
Oh my god.
That was absolutely perfect, and I friggin' love it. God dang it, Twitch. You're glorious. Okay, so you get the feeling there might be some baby sharks in the water. Let's move now to Lethiriel. What do?
I would like to ask this person closest to me, what is this horrible stench?
You can tell as you come over to talk to him, he's barely able to keep himself from throwing up. I mean, his face looks pallid, and you can tell he's nauseous. I'm not sure. It's not the first time we've smelled it, but it's the first time it's been this strong. I've heard stories about it. I've smelled it faintly before, but this is disgusting. You should probably go below decks.
But, what's going on over there?
Oh, well, see, there seems to have been an intruder on the ship. I'm not familiar with any of it. I was just told by the captain to keep the decks calm while he figures it out. You're not trying to start any trouble, are you?
No, we're here to help.
All right. Well, fair enough. Just know I can't protect you.
We can protect ourselves.
Oh, I like the sound. I like the sound of that. Oh God. Do you go anywhere?
No, I'm gonna stay here for now.
Okay, all right. And Bojangles, what do you do?
I'm gonna first draw my weapons because we have found out this thing likes captains.
It does. It does.
Second of which, I'm gonna tell everybody to get away from the sides of the ship. You guys are crazy. What are you doing?
Yeah, you start yelling out, "Get away from the sides of the ship!" Well, the two people who are closest to you, the two non-party members, they, this guy seems to take it serious, but he's not really near a ship. This guy kind of looks at you and goes, "All right, fine." And he moves. However, the people over here don't seem to hear you, or they don't seem to listen to you. You're not sure which.
Okay, I'm gonna head down over to them
All right.
and see if I can intimidate them into getting away from the sides of the ship.
Well, you're definitely not that fast, but you make your way over there. And yeah, you start going as fast as you can. And as you get closer, you start to be able to make out their conversation. Also, this individual right here, he does have his crossbow readied, and he looks at you as you now step right in line with him. He says, "Stop. What's your business?"
Saving lives. What's yours?
Ugh, I think the same.
Good. Help me get them away from the sides of the ship before they die.
Okay. All right. You really think the sides of the ship are so dangerous?
Have you never been on a ship before?
I'm on one now.
Good. Now listen.
Okay. You seem to have successfully swayed him, and he's not going to stop you. In fact, he'll turn around and help you. And it's at this point you start making out what seems to be a heated conversation between the two gentlemen over there who are still conscious. In between kind of nausea, you hear the captain. "This isn't right. She has no place on this boat. Can't you smell it in the air? It's a curse. Throw her overboard or leave her. She has no place on my vessel." The man says, "That's insane. She's a refugee just like the rest of us." "Absolutely not. I will not throw a little girl overboard." And it seems to continue as such. Double T, what do you do?
From what Bojangles said, we need to get away from the sides of the ship, so I'm doing just that.
Okay.
I'm gonna move to right there.
All right, you say, "All right, you got it," and you start chasing right after Bojangles, and you make your way over there. Luckily, everyone seems to be on your side in terms of the ship, the crewmates, so they're ready to go with you.
How good to know.
Yeah. All right, and it's at that point that, something peculiar happens. The captain is going to move his way over here because he is the captain and this is his ship. You see him getting kind of a pushing match with this individual, but it seems he's not strong enough to stop the captain of his own ship, and he makes his way over to the downed girl. He goes to grab her, and of course it becomes a grappling match between the two gentlemen, one trying to throw her off the ship and the other. That only lasts for about 2 or 3 seconds, though, before you hear the captain start screaming. I want everyone to roll initiative. All right, and then I will roll one as well. Oh, not the worst. All right, excellent. So, it's at this point when, all of a sudden, the captain starts screaming. And then, he grabs at his chest. He lets go of the girl, and likewise, so does the other gentleman. They both turn, looking at her, and start backing away. Well, this one does. However, the captain seems unable to. He's grabbing his chest. It seems he's in a great deal of pain. Well, That brings us to Lethariel. It seems you're quickest on the draw in this moment. What do you do? Okay. The Twitch just played a soundbite. Oh my god, what wolf? She goes, it was at this moment he knew. He fucked up. Beautiful. Absolutely a delight. Okay, so, Lethariel, what do you do?
Okay, I'm listening to my captain getting away from the side of the ship, and I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna get ready to cast Featherfall
Ooh, an interesting choice.
on, somebody might fall over.
Okay, excellent. You run down the steps of the ship as you start waving your hands in the arcane ritual to prepare Featherfall. The magic is at the tip of your fingers. You're ready to go. Double T Tanya. It's your turn.
Yes.
What happens?
In my medical opinion, that captain does not look well.
That's true, yeah.
Yes, in my professional opinion, he does not look well at all. So, that kid must have done something to him. We don't like kids because apparently they like to screw us over when we do everything for them.
You did have kind of a bad run-in with Stabby Steve. I mean, that's fair.
We do everything for them. We clothe them, we feed them, but no, they just turn around and backstab us. So kids are awful.
They just turn around and explode on us.
Yeah,
fair enough. You do notice that she is unconscious on the floor, though. I mean, you can think what you like, but that is a thing. What do you do?
We're going to get a little bit closer to where the captain is.
Go for it.
And, get, right over here.
All right, yeah, you run your way over there. What happens
next? Just to, help him if we need to. And then we're going to save an immediate action to hit a bad guy if, a bad dude shows up, like a seaweed monster, because it smells like awful seaweed.
Ooh, it does, yeah. Okay, excellent. Just like that, you ready your weapon. Looking around. The smell is almost too much to bear, but you are ready. You've got your weapon raised. It doesn't seem anything happens. Bojangles, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go closer to the captains.
All right, yeah, you make your way over there.
Ask them, do we still see the little girl over here, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's right there in front of you. Yeah, she's wearing the red dress. She is unconscious on the floor. The captain, right here, appears to be grabbing his chest, and his face is contorted in this very strange look. Shock and pain is probably the best way you could express it. And this individual seems to be staring off past the bow of the ship, maybe? But staring almost eye level with himself forward, which is weird. Who do you talk to? And that's this individual.
I'll go over to I'll talk to the captain and ask him what the hell's going on.
All right. You ask him, hey, what's going on? Anything else?
No. Can you point to whatever's causing you harm?
Excellent. Yeah, you ask him that. It seems, literally, as you say that, he drops to the ground. Now, you've seen enough things happen to living bodies to know, well, you're not sure what just happened to him, but it looks like he's barely breathing. His fingers are starting to go purple, and his lips are starting to go blue. He's dying.
I guess I'll just prepare an action to attack a monster when I see it.
All right, excellent. You prepare an action. You take out your crossbow, and you're like, oh my god. All right. Ready. You look around. You see the captain hit the floor. The smell is overbearing. It's Wyndham. What do you do?
I am going to ready my sickle in my one arm that I have.
All right.
And then I'm going to move move here. Just kind of get ready.
All right, okay, well, you are certainly ready. Yeah, you've got an immediate action prepared. You run over there with your sickle at the ready. And now we go to Lothiriel's turn. What happens?
Okay, I am going to move closer again to the captain because he's dying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll try and cast Healing Word on him.
Ooh, excellent. All right, so go ahead and move your piece here.
I'm just gonna move here. I don't need to be close for Healing Word.
That's fair. Yeah, and then you let out a healing word on the captain. Amazingly. This seems to work. Go ahead and roll your healing.
1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier, so it's 6.
All right, so you cast your healing word, and a wave of healing energy reaches the captain's body. You can see the blue fade from his lips, the purple fade from his fingertips as he gains 6 HP. Yeah. You see him suddenly back to life. Well done. Excellent. Double T. It's your turn. What happens?
So he can breathe now?
It seems like it. It seems he is conscious again, and he can breathe. What happens next?
Cool, good. So it looks like this little girl is just laying there unconscious.
Yeah.
Let's try to communicate with her mind to mind, see if she's actually unconscious or if she's faking it.
Ooh, interesting. All right, you reach out your mind to her.
And I want to yell as loud as I can in my mind to her, being like, "Hey!"
All right.
See if she twitches or anything.
You make that connection to her mind, and you shout out, "Hey!" You receive nothing.
Either she's unconscious or she's really good at acting.
She certainly may be. Anything else?
Well, Captain's fine, so that's good. I turn to this guy and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, why was the captain not able to breathe? Did the kid do anything?
Yeah, you say that, and he seems to just be standing there. What? What is that? What is that thing?
I'm like, what is what?
He just keeps looking forward at eye level, seemingly at nothing. Very curious.
That's so weird. Like, at least he's not hearing things, he's just seeing things.
Right? Very fortunate.
So where is he? He's looking like he's staring at something in front of him at eye level.
Yeah.
Can I, like, go over here, I guess? And,
Sure.
like, poke at the air with my axe, see if there's
Absolutely.
something there?
Yeah, in fact, why even bother poking? You take a big old swing because there's no reason to not be sure. Yeah, you take a big swing with your axe at eye level, directly where he's looking. Doesn't seem to connect with anything.
I'm just like, there's nothing here as I'm swinging my axe back and forth.
It's true, you just woof, woof. Seems to get nothing but air. It's at that point, at the end of your turn, when things change pretty drastically. So, all of a sudden, tendrils of seaweed sprout over the sides of the ship. Anyone who is caught in them now needs to make a dexterity saving throw. But that's not all. And don't go ahead and roll that yet. Because what you notice is that little girl who was unconscious on the floor is no longer a little girl. In fact, she appears to be a creature whose skin is a mixture of blue, green, and rotted pustules, scabs, and bleeding, weeping sores. You see her hair appears to be made of the same tangled seaweed that seems to be creeping onto the ship and grabbing at people now. It's at this point when you see her, what she really is. She's not unconscious on the floor. She is on all fours, looking at you with this perverse grin. Everyone that can see her within 30 feet, so really everyone but Wyndham, I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw, as you are suddenly horrified by her appearance. You're going to be making this at disadvantage. It turns out the smell, the raw, pustulant odor of this cloud seems to be very detrimental and adding to its effect.
We're making a wisdom save, right?
That's right, with disadvantage.
And we need a dexterity save, right?
That's true. Those
Is
of
that
you
a
who are...
disadvantage as well?
It is.
At disadvantage?
It's true, yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. Okay. So for wisdom, I got an 8. For dexterity, I got 21.
Nice. Okay. So,
We're making dex saves at disadvantage too, or
yes, unfortunately. So, Lythiriel, upon seeing this horrifying visage, you're terrified. You are now affected by fear. You cannot attack this creature. Everything in your power is to run away from it. This little girl just transformed into a monster thing on all fours that is clearly the source of this horrifying pustulant miasma and the source controlling the seaweed that seems to be wrapping around the ship. Yikes. Luckily you make your dexterity save. Double T, how'd you do?
Well, I got an 18 on my wisdom save, and I got a 2 on my dex save.
Ooh, that's very fitting for a cleric. You see this thing, and you have seen evils much, much worse than this. And as you take your axe, now clearly able to see your opponent, you wield it high, about to swing it down, and suddenly find yourself completely wrapped around with seaweed. It lurches out your legs from beneath you, and you slam into the deck of the floor. You are grappled at the moment. Bojangles, how'd you do?
I got a 11 on my dex and a 15 on my wisdom.
Ooh, okay. Amazingly, you are not shocked nor terrified by the visage of this thing either. Well done. I guess years of combat training have prepared you for this, and the recent horrors that you went through. Now, unfortunately, as you're staring this thing in the face, unfettered by fear, seaweed wraps around you, just like Double T Tanya. It's a complete surprise. I guess you should have stayed away from the edges of the ship. But, sure enough, it drags you to the floor, and you are also grappled. All right. Now that it's this thing's turn, a couple things are going to happen. The poor captain, let's see how he does. Trying to resist. Ooh, that is not enough. The seaweed wraps around him, even though he's newly conscious. Oh, he has that at disadvantage. Well, he still failed. But it appears he is dragged, well, to the floor. He hits the deck, and he is grappled by this seaweed. The only person who doesn't seem to be grappled or afraid is Wyndham. It's nice to be in the back. Now, this thing suddenly looks at you, Lythiriel. It is horrifying. This thing has the glass eyes of a child's doll, completely black and soulless. As it stares at you, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
At disadvantage, too. My goodness. Ooh.
11.
Yikes. Okay. So, now that you can all see this thing, the horror fills your mind, Lythiriel, as all you can do is look directly into those dead, glassy eyes. They connect with your soul for a moment. Suddenly, you feel it in your chest. A pressure, an intense pressure, a stabbing like a knife. You feel the breath leave your lungs, and you are now at 0 HP. You drop to the ground, unconscious. Well done, Power Gamer. You've safely made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with us, and a very special thank you to our supporters on Patreon. Thank you to our Patreon founders, whose incredible generosity humbles us. Thank you to the legends, guild members, and all of the official Power Gamers whose love and support makes this channel possible. If you like what you saw, let us know by leaving a like, comment, subscription, donation, sharing the video with your friends. Check out all the links below, and we'll see you Saturday on Twitch for the next Legends of Lyria.